Have you ever felt like the more you heal, the more your family tries to pull you back? Like every step forward you take towards confidence, clarity, or peace makes them uncomfortable. You're not imagining it, my friends, and you're not wrong for noticing it. Because sometimes the people who say they love us end up punishing us, not for hurting them, but simply for outgrowing the role they're used to seeing us in. Today, I want to talk about what that looks like, why it happens, and how you can step away from it without carrying shame. A while back, I started noticing something strange in my own life. The more I worked on myself, the more therapy I did, the more self-awareness I gained, the more boundaries I set, the more distant and critical some of my family members became. At first, I thought, maybe I really am changing too much. Maybe I'm becoming too cold, too strict, too full of myself. But then I paid closer attention. It wasn't that I was becoming mean. It was that I was becoming clear. I was no longer as quick to say yes just to keep the peace. I was no longer laughing the same jokes that hurt. And I stopped apologizing for simply existing the way I am. Maybe you felt this too. It can look like you say something true, something honest, and suddenly people go quiet on you as if your honesty is the problem. Backhanded compliments. Oh, look at you now. You think you're better than us? Sudden exclusion. You find out about family plans after they happen. Emotional sabotage. The moment something good happens in your life, someone close to you finds a way to overshadow it with their own crisis or criticism. All of these are ways of saying, we liked you better when you were smaller, when you were easier to control, when you didn't make us look at ourselves. And that realization can hurt deeply because these are people we still love. So why does it happen? Because growth changes the system. When you heal old wounds, you stop playing the role you were assigned, whether that was the caretaker, the scapegoat, the peacemaker, or the invisible one. And for people who need you in that role to keep the family dynamic balanced, your healing feels threatening. Your growth is a mirror they didn't ask for and one they don't want to look into. In their eyes, your evolution isn't proof of your courage. It's a disruption. It forces them to face questions about themselves they may not be ready for. At some point, I had to make a choice. Keep shrinking to stay accepted or step away to protect the person I was becoming. It wasn't easy. The guilt was real. The voice in my head whispered, but they're family. What if you're overreacting? What if you regret this later? But here's what I learned and what I want you to remember if you're in the same place. Your growth is not a betrayal. Healing doesn't hurt people. What hurts them is losing the version of you that tolerated what shouldn't have been tolerated. This just doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you love yourself enough to stop participating in patterns that harm you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you need space. Sometimes the healthiest boundary is the quietest one. Feeling guilty doesn't mean you're wrong. Guilt is just a sign you're doing something new, something your old conditioning taught you was selfish. And most importantly, you are allowed to redefine love in your life. Love isn't measured by how much pain you can withstand for someone else's comfort. So how do you step away without the shame swallowing you? Acknowledge your truth privately first. Before you have any conversations, admit to yourself what's been happening. Write it down, say it out loud, or share it with someone you trust. Set boundaries before they're tested. Decide what you will and won't accept before the next family event or phone call. Use gentle, firm language. You don't have to attack anyone. You can simply say, if you have to say anything at all, I'm working on being healthier, and that means I won't stay in conversations that feel hurtful to me. Expect resistance and stay grounded. People who benefited from your silence won't celebrate your voice. That doesn't mean your voice is wrong. Replace shame with compassion for them and for yourself. They may never understand why you change, and that's okay. Your job isn't to convince them. It's to keep becoming who you are meant to be. If you're listening to this and feeling that tightness in your chest, the fear that you might lose your family by becoming your true self, I want to tell you, it's scary. It's lonely sometimes, but it's also the most honest kind of freedom you'll ever taste. The people who truly love you will adjust. The ones who can't, they are loving the role you played, not the person you are. And that difference matters. If you're on this journey too, let us know in the comments a bit about your story. Let's remind each other we're not alone. And if you'd like, I can make another video about exactly how to hold these boundaries with family without turning every conversation into a fight. Thank you for watching, and remember, your evolution is not an insult. It's a gift to yourself and to the people who truly see you. Bye, my friends.